This podcast is protected under the laws of the United States and other countries. Unauthorized duplication, distribution, or exhibition may result in civil liability, criminal prosecution, and the wrath of the tall man.
Boy!
Hey, let's talk about you, the ID10T community events at ID10T.com, like Russ Stevens, a.k.a.
CatBusRuss,
who has started a podcast called 90 for Chill, which Russ says is dedicated to movies with a runtime between 74 and 99 minutes, the time frame that I feel is ideal. Russ, I could not agree with you more. That is a fantastic idea. Russ goes on to say there are times you need a cinematic fix but don't have time for the latest Scorsese masterpiece or offering from a comic book universe. There's also times when you need a conclusion to prevent a binge costing you a whole night. My guest and I try to follow these guidelines as we chat up features that are definitely worth your time and are beyond easy to make time for. 90 for Chill, the podcast, can be found on all major podcast platforms at 90forchill.com, and that's spelling out 90, Ninety, 4 FOR, chill. So there you go. Thank you so much for sharing, Russ. Really great idea for a podcast. Events at ID10T.com for everyone else.
Hello there.
Hello, and welcome to a Rewind Wednesday edition of I Dig Crazy Flicks. This is your host, CatBusRuss. We are going to dive into Allie's Accessory Shop on Etsy's trash feature reviews. I say trash features. They're basically, Allie and I have been friends for quite a long time now, probably my best friend in Champaign-Urbana. And when I started this podcast up, she decided to go and find movies that fit the 90 for Chill parameters of 70 to 100 minutes. I can't say they're all winners, and she didn't really do the research on that. I will say this six-pack I'm going to offer, more hits than misses, but, it has Gothica, which isn't exactly Dark Castle's best horror feature. I'm still trying to find a good Dark Castle great horror feature. There are fun ones, and I will get to those in the future. Hopefully making up with a Gary Daniels movie will help. And then you got Oscar bait as well in this episode. So I hope you enjoy. If you want to be a guest on the podcast, and actually, I'd like to have a guest for next week's episode, the February 19th episode. You got 40 minutes on Zoom. You have a bonkers movie. Let's chat. Hit me up. My email is russthebus07@gmail.com. That's RUSSTHEBUS07@gmail.com. As I say, offer me a theme, a director, an actor, a singular movie, and let's fry up some podcast gold. Also, we will be at Indiana Comic Con in Indianapolis doing a panel. That'll be between March 14th to the 16th. More details to come in the near future. And before I get off here, let me thank my Patreon members. You can support the show at patreon.com/IDigCrazyFlicks. $3 a month gets you a sticker, gets you a shout out like members and former guest on the show, Tim Bates. He's on the Arena and the Night of the Demons episodes in the feed. And a good wrestling friend of mine, the Scoop Staley. $3 a month, sticker, shout out. Look at it this way. You're getting my kitty 3 tins of cat food. And Ava's a queen, and you must respect royalty. But if you want to support the show otherwise, rate and subscribe on your favorite podcast apps, 5 stars preferably. I will learn from your comments. I just like the support. And it does make me feel special, good or bad. Just the number should be 5. The comments, I cuss like a Brit. So, alright. So it's taking a little longer than I'd like. So I better just wrap her up, get you to the movies. I just need to thank my best friend, Station Marie Harden. She's still looking out after me, and I appreciate her doing so. And I hope she's doing the same for everybody else in her life that she touched in her life. I hope she's enjoying the little talkative, fluffy presence of Skimbleshanks, the one-eared angel. Thanks for checking out 90 for Chill, the podcast. I'm sorry, old routine. Officially right now, it's I Dig Crazy Flicks presents 90 for Chill, the podcast with CatBusRuss, and I hope you enjoy the show.
Pierce Brosnan is Neil Skinner. His business partner double-crossed him, sent him to prison, and stole his girl. 4 years later, it's time to get even.
I'm back. He's trying to give up smoking. You know how that is. But I'm going to take you. A battle of wits. You still make that funny little noise when you make love?
You'll never know.
I have this one chance to get even, to get respect. He jumps you, and you jump me, and that's how he jumps me.
You really think I'm capable of double-crossing you after double-crossing Everett?
This is one very twisted pretzel, this guy.
Pierce Brosnan, Tom Skerritt, and Wendy Hughes star in the HBO original movie for September. He had 4 years to plan his revenge and 1 week to pull it off. The heist. Getting even is worth waiting for.
Little Hand says it's time to rock and roll. Bring the noise.
The Heist. Pierce Brosnan film where he's opposite Tom Skerritt and trying to get his revenge for being sent to prison to get him out of the race track business. On top of things, Skerritt stole his girl as a result of this. It's an offensive film from HBO made in 1989, back before they were trying to just secure the Emmy for Best Full-Length Feature for Television. As I say, it's inoffensive. Not as much fun as modern heist films, say pretty much anything by Steven Soderbergh, Logan Lucky, or the Ocean's franchise. And I think that's what's kind of hurts the film, is that it's not really overly outrageous in trying to create these twists and everything. It's just rather pedestrian. Nothing really to excite you at any point in the film. You're just trying to hope it's clever, and I don't know, it really gets muddled in the conclusion, the epilogue, what have you. It has a bunch of elder actors who a lot of them aren't really with us anymore, just riding on their charm from their earlier career through the 80s. Yeah, I mean, it's just a very inoffensive film. I could imagine back in 89. It was a nice way to just kill some time on a Friday night. I almost wonder, like, if this is what Pierce Brosnan was doing after Remington Steele. How did we come across him as Bond? Alright, so enough with my adoration of Timothy Dalton as one of the finer Bonds. Definitely number 3 at worst. If you're a fan of the actors in it, it might be worth your time. It's not insulting, which maybe I would have rather have been a little more trashy, a little more a film that tried to be smarter than you, which I think might require more time than 90 minutes to fully get away with.
You have no idea how it feels not to be trusted.
You've got to trust me too, Chloe.
How can you trust someone who thinks you're crazy?
How long have I been in here?
3 days.
I want to talk to my husband.
Doug is dead. You killed him.
There's no way.
What's the last thing you remember?
There was a girl. This is the girl that I saw. This is the girl.
It's impossible. She died 4 years ago.
That girl came to me, and she has a very specific agenda.
Miranda, what's that?
Something is really happening to me.
Look, I understand you're upset. I'm here to help you, but you have to trust me.
You can't trust somebody when they think you're crazy.
And I've finally gotten around to Gothica from 2003 with Halle Berry, Robert Downey Jr., Charles S. Dutton, the guy who played Sheriff Gunderson's husband in Fargo. Let's just cut right to the chase. This is a ghost story that ends with Limp Bizkit's cover of Behind Blue Eyes being played over the credits. This seems like everything that was wrong with the early noughties. It's a poor man's David Fincher. It uses a lot of elements. It tries giving you that Fight Club kind of vibe of what's real, what isn't real, with crappy effects, frantic editing. It's from a director, Sebastian Gutierrez, who's known for some great low-budget, like straight-to-TV stuff. She Creature, Electrolux. Give this guy a budget and he's not going to do you any favors. It's kind of like he's a genre version of Kevin Smith before Kevin Smith became a genre. It's about Halle Berry, who's a psychologist at a mental institution for the criminally insane women, who's just blowing off Penelope Cruz, who's there for killing her stepfather, and just assuming that all these devil talk is just throwing that onto her stepfather, justifying the murder and all that bollocks. It does have some important lessons, like if Beetlejuice wasn't enough, never go under a covered bridge in any kind of haste. It's just tries so much to give you this atmosphere that's like, yeah, it just doesn't feel real at all. Really just becomes like, okay, you're having fun trying to predict how this is all gonna make sense. And it kind of plays off with the weird, well, I gotta get back to the plot, I suppose. It was basically one night, rain, all the spooky elements. Halle Berry blacks out after dodging a woman in the middle of the road after going under said bridge, and awakens in a mental institution being told she killed her husband, played by Charles Dunton from Surviving the Game, Alien 3. The creepy, like, just the vibe. Halle Berry probably just seeming so much younger than she is, and Harry and Charles Dunton just being him. It just feels creepy, especially, and it kind of plays itself out. So I don't want to give any spoilers away. If you're here to watch a movie where Limp Bizkit closes it out, you're probably in for the wrong movie. So I could see, though, why some people would enjoy this, wanting to believe in ghosts, wanting to not feel insane. But it's just like, this is the journey you want to take. It's just attempts to be all atmosphere with crappy, frantic editing, video effects. Oh gosh, don't even get me started on the fire. Definitely not one I would recommend to anybody who has a sense that their faculties are all there. But for those who want to just look for watch something that offers explanations into what might not be known or trusted, I could see where they might enjoy it. So just talked myself into saying 1.5 to 2 stars right there. Painful 2 stars, but 2 stars nonetheless.
Now available on video cassette.
And I've just rediscovered Hawk's Vengeance from 1996, a Canadian made for video feature, which does some cute little gimmicky things. I think they found some classic Illinois plates to try stating that it's definitely an American movie. And then I find out it's actually shot in Montreal. I was thinking Vancouver, like they just took the empty set of Highlander the series when the half of the season where they shot in Paris made it available, especially the antagonist's lair. Like, you really just put some random props, like make it almost look as cringy as a Chinatown shop. So Chicago Chinatown, maybe it's better in New York, San Francisco. I digress. So the feature is about Gary Daniels as Eric Hawk Kelly, who is on leave from the British Marines to investigate the murder of his police officer stepbrother in, I think they meant New York. As I say, it's weird with everything they do to try making sure you don't think it's Canada. Hey, get some cop-ass outfits from the States, I guess, is my suggestion. You can definitely see RMCP or PC, Royal Mounted Canadian Police. And it turns out that he uncovers a strategy of an evil Philippine martial arts style master manipulating skinheads to capture Chinese gang members to harvest organs. Sorry, I've spoiled that portion of it. It doesn't really get revealed until just before the third act. It's really just a bunch of ridiculous set pieces, I would say. They're kind of fun and goofy. Definitely fit with the ADR mixing up accents when they're supposed to be in London and the synthesizer soundtrack. You gotta give it credit for at least giving Gary Daniels an excuse to be in the Western Hemisphere with that accent. As I say, it's just some silly set pieces, like the improvised weaponry in the finale, like an antenna plays a pretty crucial role, I would say, resulting in the same conclusion except Gary Daniels on the good end, as the bout he had with Wesley Snipes at the end of the Game of Death they both started. If you're looking for silly fun, this is, good background noise and just classic 90s when action movies were the good kind of the corny kind of action movies were pushed straight to the DVD shelves. Sorry, VHS shelves. So this was one I'm kind of glad to find because it was originally released by Artisan, I believe, and Lionsgate just does a crap job releasing new DVDs. So yeah, I think I was probably a little too cynical when I first watched it. It's just good. Really kind of wish I probably had some influence foreign on me during it, but I'd say if that's if this movie is just a nice little 90s nostalgia for you, it's worth a watch.
I'm gonna sell tickets for people to watch. The money I make from this is gonna pay back for fixtures. You are all right for a poll. When this is over, we should talk. I'm gonna be dead. Oh, that's right. Oh, sorry. What are you doing, you stupid? I'm sorry. Did you tell your father? Yeah. He loved it. Kozik, thank you. You are the best son I could possibly ask for. In fact, I have the support of the whole neighborhood on this one.
Can I get a few comp tickets just for relatives, stuff like that?
The only one who's holding out on me is this one girl.
I've heard about everything. All right, I have a way to get you out of it.
Me too. If you don't show up, if you break down at last moment, if you try to turn audience against me, if you try to run away with the money, if you do anything except put noose around your neck and hang yourself, I will kill your father. Don't let me down, huh? I'm just starting to like you.
And I've just concluded watching Invitation to a Suicide, which I think, well, I didn't really write down a lot of notes while I was watching it. So if there's only any complaints, it's kind of ironic. It's nice that we see great lighting and effects, at least from a cinematography standpoint, on video. On the flip side, the sound kind of sucks. But it's a feature about a Polish American in Brooklyn who he's trying to get to California and hopefully bringing his girlfriend or the girl he wants to be his friend, the unrequited love bollocks, to California. He figures by robbing a Russian mob / snuff film producer, he could get that resources to do so. Well, it goes wrong. His locksmith buddy was murdered by the mafioso. I guess you'd still use that term. As punishment, he gets about a week to get $10,000 that burned in a fire during the break-in, or his father, a bakery owner, will be killed in his stead. So, his plan is basically with the tradition and legacy of the bakery. It seems like the best option is for him to sell his suicide to an audience. And it's just a story about adjusting to that. It's great dark comedy. I love how humor versus legacy gets played into it. And it's really about, I think, more or less trying to figure out if you actually could have the nerve to end your life. And I think that's kind of cathartic in a sense. I also go through depression, so... Pablo Schreiber is your star lead. It's weird for me because I know him best from American Gods and Den of Thieves as some buffed out tough guy. And this is just him as a young kid, fresh off the wire. And it's a really great story, and I think it's ironic that it ends with a joke about don't record it on video. Always get it on 35 millimeter. So I appreciate a little irony there. So great performances, solid story. Yeah, I mean, all you can really wish for is if it was shot on film, and it's really disappointing that the director and writer, Lauren Marsh, hasn't really done anything since. So this is a film that I really dug. As long as you can get past the limitations of the quality, definitely worth your time.
Phuket, Thailand.
That ain't no Etch-a-Sketch. This is one doodle that can't be undid, Holmes Gillett.
I think it's best to just tell him I'm pregnant.
Who was the father?
Polly Bleecker?
I didn't think he had it in him.
I know, right?
Wow, your shorts are like especially gold today.
My mom uses color-safe bleach.
Go, Carol. You should look at adoption ads. They have ads for parents.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Vanessa. You must be Juno.
Hi, I'm the husband.
A couple of baby-starved wingnuts.
Dude, that thing is freaky looking.
I am a sacred vessel. All you've got in your stomach is Taco Bell.
You think you're really gonna do this?
Yeah, but I'm guessing it looks probably like a sea monkey right now. We should let it get a little cuter, right?
Great.
Keep it in the oven.
When this is all over, we should get back together.
He's still gonna think I'm cute when I'm huge.
I think you're beautiful.
Did you by any chance barf in my urn?
I would never barf in your urn.
Did you see that coming when she sat us down here?
Yeah, but I was hoping she was expelled or into hard drugs.
You're like the coolest person I've ever met, and you don't even have to try.
I try really hard, actually.
You love him.
Hey, you know, you could go into early labor sucking face like that.
And I've just concluded watching Juno from 2007. Oscar-winning winner for Best Screenplay, Diablo Cody. With that kind of screenplay, though, it seems a little too smart for the dialogue that high schoolers are saying to each other. It can get all kind of weird. I have influences who didn't like Death Proof because that's not how women talk to each other. I think if it was a little more demented, say like Heather's, the dialogue would be more appropriate, and I can see why Jennifer's Body, another Diablo Cody script, is getting so much more reassessment and love than Juno, because it's a horror movie. While Juno is basically Jason Reitman trying to be heir apparent to the Coen brothers. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, and it's kind of makes Ghostbusters Afterlife a little more worthwhile because he's not doing something that's very Coen-esque. I'm just saying the soundtracks being so eclectic, the imagery, like, you do appreciate that he can focus and make something out of about every detail, which is just a great sign of a director. And I can't say that, you know, even with Jennifer's Body, that was accomplished. So it's a story about Juno, a girl played by Elliot Page, who gets knocked up by Michael Cera after being just, and I know it's a rather familiar experience, not familiar, I'm sorry, common experience of women going to abortion clinics, and it's just the staff just doesn't really look too intent on providing the great service, or just very nonchalant about what they're doing. You want to end up in a place like Dogma, not Women's Now, in Montano, it's Minnesota, and very Minnesota feel. Again, Coen Brothers vibes. Juno decides that she's going to give it up for adoption to a family, a couple portrayed by Jennifer Gardner and Jason Bateman. Really, that's just kind of exposes about when people are willing to grow up, or can they grow up. It's got a great supporting cast. I mean, Allison Janney, what is his name? He plays, can't believe, Farmer's Insurance guy. J.K. Simmons. Thank God I had the box in front of me. So, I mean, it's just a fun, sweet little movie, and it is moving. I'm not even gonna, I guess for me being 40s and trying my best to talk like that, it kind of hits me. So, yeah, so after watching Invitation to a Suicide and then Juno, it's a lot of kind of self-reassessment things, stuff that I should have been more prepared for when I went to my therapist for the first time. So, interesting experience today, and I think I'll end the binge now. It's great to see two bangers in one day, And I think if you can just appreciate the story and the acting, Juno is definitely worthwhile.
1651. Father Taurus's expedition had a cache of gold doubloons. All we gotta do is follow this journal, and it's gonna lead us to the treasure.
You're serious?
Charlie, what are you doing? We're not doing anything illegal. This is public land.
Sir, I'll have to ask you to leave.
Well, I'm so sorry.
Can't believe you just gave that cop our phone number.
She calls me. She's a peach.
Parents have this advantage over us.
That's my baby.
We want to believe in them.
Wait a minute, look, I think I see it right there.
This is it. Doubloons lost more than 300 years ago, and they're buried under a Costco.
I guess that wasn't meant to be.
It's only 6 feet down.
Are you nuts?
Think about it. Catastrophe equals opportunity. Pepper used to work for an alarm service company.
Was that before or after he went to jail?
Before.
So I've just concluded watching King of California. It's from 2007, starring Evan Rachel Wood and Michael Douglas. It's a story about Evan Rachel Wood being a 15-year-old when her father, with his bipolar and general psychosis, gets institutionalized for a couple of years. In the meantime, she's paying on the house, working at McDonald's, buying cars on eBay without letting people know her actual age. So, a lot of ways, it's kind of like the little girl who lived down the lane, except without the pedophiles. There are swingers, though. When Michael Douglas gets out of the institution, he figures his goal in life is now to find the lost treasure of Juan Torres, which they eventually determine is underneath a Costco. It's a lot of madcap elements to it. It's just a pleasant little story. I mean, there's nothing overly exciting about it. And for somebody who's dealt with depression and lived with people who've had bipolar issues and have difficulty establishing what real is, it kind of speaks to me in a bit. I mean, there's nothing magnificent about the direction. And as I said, the performances are fine. It's really only two actors, Wood and Douglas. Nobody really... I guess there's just not a lot of opportunities for Evan Rachel Wood to shine. It's her playing a kid again, which she did for pretty much the first decade of her career, starting with 13. I would say that if you're a big Michael Douglas fan and you just want to see him go off, I mean, he's never takes anything seriously in the film. He's just having fun. So kind of a vanity project, I suspect. I haven't looked at the box to see if he's got an executive producer credit or not. But, you know, it's pleasant and inoffensive in a lot of ways, and just kind of, I think, gives you another take on having faith in people. There's a great line about parents have us trapped because we want to believe in them. We just end up wanting to be with them. And this is a story about Evan Rachel Wood trying to figure a way how to do that while not falling into the same insanity that he has. It's a nice little character piece. I guess if you got a head in weird places like me, it might be worthwhile.
Can I hear a wahoo?